Welcome to our software development project on our unit FST10014 programming. We are university students from Sumbun Sarawak University of Technology, and we are here to present to you our assignment. My name is Gloria, and here today with me are my members, Sonia and also Joel, which will then be introduced later. So now let's get started. So now I would like to get started by talking about our program's objectives, purposes, and also scope. So our program name is called ClubHub Plus. So our program includes the membership registration for clubs in Sumbun Sarawak University and rewards the user points to their profile after the payment to join the clubs. Now we still have limitations about our reward system because this is just an assignment and therefore we don't have a specific details to the profiles. But moving on, what does our program do? So our program consists of the user's registration and also users login, which have the same application where the users need to input their personal information such as the student email and also student ID over here. And also, they also need to provide a student password entry in order to be able to successfully log in or register into their profile. Now it applies the same way in the login for the login of the students also, where they need to input their student ID and also student email, and also provide a password for their profile. And once this is done, it will show a display of clubs that are available in Sumbun Sarawak to choose from based on preferences such as sports, and it will display basketball, futsal, and dodgeball that falls under the sports category. And besides that, it will also display the amount of fees for a specific amount of club, such as sports. For every sports club, for every club that falls under sports, it equals to 10 ringgit of fee for the membership registration. Now, in order for the users to make the payments, we have selected two payment method selections, which are cash payment and also online payment, where the users will be given a message box that says that states on how the payment method will be directed, such as if they chose cash, they need to contact this number for payment discussion, and online they need to make this they need to make payment for this bank account number over here. And after that's done, they will be needed it will be displayed the confirmation status of the club membership of the users. For example, over here, adding member to the selected club, where the users need to to input their name and also student ID, which will then be shown a message box that says the registration is successful, and it will welcome the user and stating that the users have been registered to the specific amount of to the specific club. Now, let's move on to our program's objectives. So our program aim to provide clear and detailed information about each club over here, including the membership fees, ensuring that students can make informed decisions before joining. And other than that, it enables students to easily register for various clubs at Sumbun Sarawak University through a streamlined sign-up process. And other than that, it also assists club administrators in efficiently managing and organizing application data to prevent information loss. So now, lastly, let's talk about our scope, which will then be divided into strengths and limitations. So we incorporate user-friendly features and an intuitive design to make it easier for users to navigate the program effortlessly, meaning through the registration, the club selection, and payment process. We use GUI, which is also known as graphical user interface, which is very intuitive and a very straightforward interface, making it easy for the users to navigate through our application. Now, lastly, let's talk about our limitations. The effectiveness of this program relies heavily on the reliability of the technology used. So technical issues such as server outages or software bugs could interfere with the application process. And this program also lacks comprehensive customer support features such as live chat or help desk, which can leave users without assistance. So the program also requires a stable internet connection for users to access its features. So meaning poor connectivity can hinder users' ability to register or navigate the application. So now I bet you're curious on how our GUI application or how our GUI program looks like or how it looks like when it's running. So now I would like to pass it on to Sonia, which will then further demonstrate and talk about on the program running of our application. Thank you very much. That's all from me.
Hello everyone, my name is Sonia Delilah. I will now show you how our program look like and how to use it. This is our login or sign up page. The student need to put their student ID and their email. For existing users, you just need to click login. For new users, you need to click sign up. And then they will ask you to enter your password. In this page, they will give you a category, 4 category of clubs you can join. For example, I will now choose sport category and then just click on any club you would like to join. The program will tell you how much the fee is, and then this is how our payment window will look like. The student need to put their full name and their student ID. We will give you 2 payment methods. It's either cash payment or online payment. For cash payment, they will ask you to contact this number for further payment. For example, I will now try to choose the online payment. The output will be the same, and then we just need to click online payment and then register. They will give you account number. That's how our program will look like. I will now pass to my teammates Joel to explain how the coding works, how it works.
Hello and good day to everyone. My name is Joel, and today I'll be explaining to you the coding behind our program, ClubHub. So I'll be going through the important parts as we have limited time here. So first, as you can see here, we've imported Tkinter, which is the library that enables us to create UI, and we've also imported 3 modules that we've created in order to make it easier for us to code or to make it more clear. So let's move to the first important part, which is the login or the sign up process. So we started in the login window in which we created a variable or we created a box where the users can input their student ID and their email here. And from there, they can either press 2 button, which is the login button or the sign up button, in which it will bring them to the login process or the sign up process. So let's take a look at the sign up process. So by clicking the sign up button, it will run the handle sign up function, in which case it will do this, which is first, it will get the student ID and the email from the boxes earlier, and then it will run the register sign up info. So it runs the sign up info functions from the register module, which is over here. So as you can see, we get the student ID and the email. then it will run the function load total users, and it will also run the functions user exists. So function load total users is basically, as you can see here, it just loads as it just open up our file existing user.txt, which is where we store our users data. It opens it up and then it loads it into the total users list over here. And what it does is that it enables our other functions to immediately access the amount or all the users that existed within within our text file over here. So for the functions user exists, it will go through this list and checks whether or not the student ID and the email already existed beforehand. If it does, it will return true. If it doesn't, it will return false. And as you can see here, if it does return, as you can see here, if it does return true, it will return 0. If it doesn't, it will return 1. And when it returns 0, meaning that it does exist, we will show an error that shows that user already exists. Or if it doesn't, then we will go to the open sign up password window, which is a window where the user can create their password. So here we created a box for them to enter their password and also submit it. And upon clicking the submit button, they will run the submit password functions, where it will check whether or not the password, it will run the register function from the register module, in which it checks whether or not the input is valid through the validate inputs, in which we check the length of the student ID, meaning whether the student ID is valid or not, and also whether it fits the criteria of the password that we've set. And upon achieving all of those, they will return true, in which we will now store all the data of the user, meaning their student ID, their email, and their password, into this existing user.txt after opening this file. And after closing it, after storing it in this file, we will close the file and we'll also run this function, create user, in which we are just establishing the user, or establishing all these variables as an instance of a class user, which we've established in this function class, in this function module over here. So that's the sign up. And as you can see, the login is more or less the same without the creating of a new account, right? As you can see, the login info is just the same. They check whether the user exists, and if it does, however, this time it's a bit different. If it does exist, we want it to return false, because if it doesn't exist, that means that you can't log into anything. So if it returns false, we return 0, meaning the user doesn't exist. So we'll show this error. However, if they do exist, over here, it will return 1, and they will go to the open login password window. And as you can see here, open login password window runs the function validate users, runs the function submit password, and which is consequently runs the function validate user from the functions module. So what it does is that it just checks within the total users list that we've established earlier. They check the student ID of the users, and whether or not the password that they input match up with the student ID and match up with what we have in our total users. And if it does, it will run the open club section. If it doesn't, it will say invalid password, please try again. So let's say that it does. So we go to open club section, in which this is a window that just displays all the clubs that they can choose from. And we created a button that shows you all the keys of the clubs variable we've established earlier, the sports, social, musical, academics. The users can choose on one of those categories of clubs, or based on the clubs that you've chosen early on, we will show you another window, display clubs category, meaning the category that you've chosen, whether it be social, musical, or sports category. And within this window, they have a button that will show you, it's a drop-down button, will show you all the clubs within the specific category, meaning we're using the key social, it will show you the Sunburn Leo Club, eBay Club, and Charity Cruiser Club only. They won't show you any other clubs. And after that, you can hit the submit button over here. And what it does, it will run the function show club details over here, in which it will show you what club you selected specifically. and what is the fee and what is the category of the club that you've chose. And if you didn't choose any clubs and you just hit it, it will show an error and will ask you to select a valid club. So when you've chosen a club, it will open this registration form. And within this registration form, you will need to input your name and your student ID. And after that, you can select your payment method, whether it be cash payment or online payment. And after that, you can hit this button to register yourself into a club, in which it will run the function submit registration over here, in which it will get your user, your student ID, in which payment method that you chose. If you chose the cash payment, it will show you this. Registration successful. Welcome. What did you put your name? You have been registered for which club that you chose. Please contact this number for further payment discussion. Or if you chose the online, it will show you this output instead. Please make your payment to this bank account number. And if you haven't chosen any of those fields, or if any of those fields are not filled, and you left it empty, it will show you an error. And after this, so after clicking OK on this message box, it will close everything after here. So that's the end of our code. Thank you very much.